Welcome back, everyone. I am super excited to have an amazing conversation on the Magic Wand podcast with our very special guest in the building. We have Maria. Maria, how are you, first of all?
I am doing great. It is a beautiful morning here in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
So I'm just delighted.
Very good, very good. So, Maria, I want you to start by telling the world a little bit about who is Maria. Let's start there. Let's start from the very beginning so people know who you are.
Ah, wow. Okay. So my name is Maria Anifowoshe, and I am from Nigeria. I have been in the United States studying here, and I am currently an instructor in the intensive English program at Georgia State University. I love languages, most especially empowerment through language pedagogy. So whatever that might look like for a student, because I've seen that opportunities can be unlimited or even restricted based on the fact that whether a student is exposed to certain language, like different countries, it's beautiful. Language is beautiful. So I am very, very passionate about that in the most recent times. And I am also doing my master's program in applied linguistics and English as a second language at Georgia State University. So I think, yeah.
Wow, you are doing a lot for sure. One of the words that you mentioned is empowerment. And the Magic Wand Foundation is all about empowerment. In fact, that we have the Empowering Minds Conference coming up. But I want to go back a little bit and hear about your journey with the Magic Wand Foundation, going back to the Ultimate Life Summit as a student. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so break it down for us. Tell us about your journey.
Yes. So my very first time attending the Ultimate Life Summit, it was in year 2012, and I was 17 years old as a then. And I attended that conference after meeting Scott for the very first time at our entrepreneurship conference the year before. And the thing is, I spent 5 weeks at the entrepreneurship conference, but the only thing that stood out to me was Scott's speech. I was like, this is very different, but this is very empowering. I feel like somebody gave me a superpower after listening to him, because I felt like, okay, I'm making all these plans. I'm in this entrepreneurship conference. I'm learning all of these things. But for me, his speech was the culmination point where all of these plans can become a reality. Because you need that factor in your life where, okay, I have all these plans, but there's so many moving parts. There are so many moving parts, but you need that point in your mind where you have that resolute confidence that it's going to happen or come to pass. So when I went to Ultimate Life Summit in 2012, my expectations were very high because Scott's speech at the entrepreneurial conference was like 2 hours, but I was like, I am here immersing myself for 7 days, and I cannot wait to see what it brings. And it did not disappoint at all, because I was able to see the mindset in a different light. It was very enlightening, because for me, I came from a very challenging background back in Nigeria, and I needed someone to speak into my life and to let me know that it is possible, whatever those dreams that I have are, and that they are very achievable. So the conference did not disappoint at all, and I made friends from all over the world. That was like, it was incredible. As a student.
Maria, so for those who might not know, Scott Schickler is the founder of Seven Mindsets. I mean, Scott Schickler is that guy and motivating all of those things. And it sounds like he really poured into you what you needed to hear in that moment, especially, with your background coming from Nigeria. And it gave you the ability to know that everything is possible, which, by the way, is one of the 7 mindsets. So can you talk a little bit about what is your favorite mindset? Do you have one? And why is that your favorite mindset?
Oh my goodness. Okay. My favorite mindset. It's so hard to choose one because everyone is every mindset is so good. But for me, I would say at different stages of my life, the meaning and interpretation of the mindsets have evolved for me. And in this moment, I think the long lasting of all of them that have stayed with me is the live to give mindset. Because now I am realizing that the entire team of like the Magic Wand Foundation that came together to host like the Ultimate Life Summit, they poured into us. They gave us the very best of themselves. They poured in their authenticity, their passion to raise change agents in different locations across the world. And for me, I believe that is just life changing. That is incredible. So live to give is where you are connecting your passion and your purpose, using it to make a change, a transformation in society. And this is what the Magic Wand Foundation has done to all of us who have attended the conference. And this is what I want to carry on and make an impact in society in whatever way that I can.
Yeah, and live to give is a powerful mindset. And one of the things I heard you say is that with Live to Give, it really helped people to empower others to become change agents. And it sounds like from your time as a student, someone poured into you, you became a change agent, and then you went on to become a summit guide as an adult. So can you talk a little bit about that transition from student being empowered and then moving into a role where now you get to empower others?
Thank you so much. So, yes, like I said, I saw the power of giving being modeled to me, and I wanted to replicate that. And it's the multiplication of that causes a ripple effect throughout the world. I got that email. Actually, I was in Nigeria. So I attended as a student in 2012. And then in 2017, I came in as a summit guide. And during that time, I was actually at a stage of my life where I was trying to decide. I had finished high school, trying to decide what am I going to do with my life, and then I got the email from Scott, and he was like, "Oh, we're looking for alumni who can become summit guides." And I was like, "What? Yes, I'm coming." Like, it made the decision immediately because even at that point, I wasn't sure what direction I was going to go. In terms of after completing high school. So as a summit guide, it was beautiful to see the beautiful process that the students go through for that transformation, or to embody that keyword that a lot of students always define as life changing whenever they attend the Ultimate Life Summit. It was like, as I put it, like my first day being a summit guide, you see their faces glowing, bubbly, they're excited. The students are looking forward to, what is this about? Or am I just here just to make friends? Like, I'm just excited to be here. But then as the days continue in the conference, you see them find realizations through the 7 mindsets about their own lives, their own goals, and the possibility of that. And during the process of the conference, you see them also, we do life plans where we begin to connect the dots of how the mindset impact our daily lives. And there are many times we also have to identify some potential obstacles to our goals and to our dreams, like just connecting your past to your present and then to your future. And there are times in the room where students are like bawling, they're like crying because like they come to the realization of the love in the room or the support in right there in that room, and the fact that their past does not define them, and that they should not allow their background to put their back on the ground. And all of that process for me I was like, wow, this is why I considered this conference life changing. And it's beautiful to see it before my own eyes through the lenses of the students and me being a summit guide.
Maria, that is powerful on so many levels. And I want you to dive a little bit deeper. We're going to get to the transformation after the summit, after the conferences, but can you set the stage a little bit more of what the experience, what the energy, what it feels like, what it sounds like? Like, describe that for us a little bit.
Oh my goodness. That's a please. Yeah, like that's the word for it, like, oh my goodness. Because at some point I'm just like speechless as how to explain it. And all I can say is, oh my word. Because there is so much positive energy in that room. There is joy, there is excitement, there is that huge overflowing joy that occurs when a light bulb turns on in your head concerning how that mindset is connected to, oh, this is my plan, this is my dream. And that mindset just opened a pathway in your head that, oh my gosh, this is it. It is possible. Or this is what I want to pursue. Like there's just that combination of joy, excitement, and love in the room. So if you've been experiencing like a dearth or of love at Ultimate Life Summit, I call it you get inundated with love. It's like a flood and you're like drowning in it. It's a beautiful kind of drowning though, because you soak in all of that positive energy, which you actually need for it to carry you on as you leave the conference. Because after the conference, you're gonna be like in the real world, in the real life, and there's gonna be a lot of obstacles and things that life will throw at you. But when you sit and look back to that 1 week experience and you relive it in your mind and you say, okay, I received all this love, all this support during that conference, it strengthens you and it gives you fuel for the rest of the journey, regardless of life's challenges. And for me, I've always relived the experience in my head, especially when life was very hard.
Yeah, Maria, so let's go there a little bit. And so you're describing this almost surreal experience that you have to be there to kind of feel it, to see it, to experience it. But then after that, life goes on and the real world is happening. So for you, how have you taken that experience and use it as fuel when life gets to life and challenges come up? How have you used it as fuel to keep going and really put those mindsets in action?
Oh yeah. There were times I had to use it as fuel big time. Like, for instance, after I came to ULS as a student in 2012, so I went back to Nigeria to like complete high school. And there was a season in my life. Okay, so I'm not a fan of mathematics. Like, we're not friends. So if you give me math, I'm just like, I'm like screaming in my head. So, okay, this is what happened. So I go ahead, finish high school, but you have a major entrance exam into college in Nigeria. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay, I have to take this exam and math is a component of it. And guess what? I failed math. I failed woefully.
I can connect with that, Maria. Same. Pre-cal in college took me out.
Oh my gosh. See, you even got to the point of pre-calc. Like, I was like, algebra, anything that has X, Y, and Z. I'm like, why am I having to do this? So at that point that I experienced that failure, there was just so much shame attached to it as well, because I was surrounded by people who expected so much of me. And so falling below their expectations crushed me. Like, it was not just the fact that, oh, I failed math in that class or in that exam. It was that, oh, I disappointed major people in my life. And for me, it snowballed. It kind of snowballed into like so much shame attached to failure and then anxiety and depression. I was like, ooh, this is going down, down, down. And those were the times I had to remember the moments at the Ultimate Life Summit where we learned the 7 mindsets. Because there are the points where they talked about attitude of gratitude as being one of the mindsets. And I had to change my perspective on that failure. So I did not invalidate the fact that failure occurred, but I was grateful for the fact that it would help me become a new person on gaining enlightenment on how to handle it the next time. And actually, that failure set me up for success. Now that I look back at it, because of that math component, I did not go to college in Nigeria. And it was during that season, Scott reached out to me to come and be a summit guide. And so I was like, okay, I'm in a state where I know things are so hard for me in Nigeria, but I think going to this conference will help me figure out as a summit guide, even as I'm helping the students, to help me myself figure out how do I want to go forward in life. And at the conference as a summit guide, so one of the speakers that came to that conference, her name is April Farlow, and I had connected with her at the conference in 2012. And so I emailed her that, oh, I'm coming back as a summit guide. And she was like, Maria, how about your goals and your dreams to go to college? And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, well, I failed an exam. Also, things were hard financially back in Nigeria. Like, at a point, my parents were considering, Maria, I think you need to go learn a trade instead of going to school. But I loved education. And I was like, going to learn a trade is really not my calling. And so, but at that point, as a summit guide, April shared about my life story in her speech and connected it to the mindsets. It actually opened my eyes to see that, Maria, your failure will set you up for success. You just have to pick up the pieces at that point in time. And one magical thing happened that day at the conference. So it's 2017. It was at the Omni Hotel. I can never forget that day. Scott comes up to the stage as soon as April was done speaking, and he says, Maria, I'm sorry to hear about your challenges in Nigeria, both the failure and also the financial hardships of going to school. And he says, you know what? I am going to offer a scholarship of $3,700 for you to go to college. That was my very first scholarship of going to college. And I was like, wait, what? I was bawling and crying in that room. I was like, wait a second. But see, if I had not incorporated the power of the mindset to pick myself up from that failure, from that anxiety and depression, and choose to come serve, I don't think that miracle would have happened that day. So for me, that was how the mindset helped me.
Yeah. And Maria, what I'm hearing is there might be challenges in life. There might be obstacles and hurdles that we're going to be dealt. But having the mindsets almost served as a buffer to when those challenges come, you were ready and prepared for it. So Maria, as we start to bring this to a close, a couple more things for you. One, for those, there is a magic wand. There's the Empowering Minds conference is coming up, but depending on when people listen to this, it might pass. But there will be other events throughout the year. For people who might be on the fence about attending a Magic Wand event, what would you say to them?
Whoa. I'm like, apply for the event today. Book your tickets today. Because you will never regret it. You will never regret that decision. It was one of the best decisions that I made in my life. Attend this conference. And for the Empowering Minds conference, I am so over the top excited because this is more kind of on the level of as an educator or as a facilitator, how are you connecting this mindset together? So this time, I'm not going with the student mindset. I'm going with I'm in the real world. I'm in the business world, but in the middle of all the challenges, how can I maintain balance? How can I also forge ahead to achieve my goals and dreams, even through the mindset? So I'm saying, book your ticket today.
You heard it here. Maria's telling you, book your ticket today. Maria, the last question that I have for you. If you could sum up your journey with the Magic Wand Foundation from coming from Nigeria, being a student at the Ultimate Life Summit, your entire journey up to where you are now, in a sentence or a phrase, maybe it's one word, how would you sum it up? What would it be?
It's a very, very huge, huge question right there because I'm a person of many words.
Got it.
As you can see.
Let's make it simple.
Yes, make it short and
but
simple.
Profound.
So I would say that my journey with the Magic Wand Foundation has been transformative because I have evolved from 0 to hero level in every dimension through my journey with them. And I'm looking forward to more.
You heard it here first. Maria's story of transformation from 0 to hero, but I'm sure it wasn't 0. You're already at a high level, and you went from a high level to elevated levels the world has never seen before. Maria, if people wanted to get in contact with you and learn more about you, your work, or just to kind of hear more about your transformation, how can people get in touch with you?
Yes. Okay, so my LinkedIn is Maria Anifowoshe, or you can also connect with me on Instagram at Maria Anifowoshe. If you just search me up, I wish I could remember the handle, but I've not been active on social media for many reasons. I took a break off of social media. Yeah. But if you just search for my name, Maria Anifowoshe, or if you search for Inspired Breath 3730, you will find me.
And we might have to have a part 2 to hear more about that. Is that your business or organization? What is that?
Well, Inspired Breath, I did it. It was a project at school where my goal was just to put out positive energy out there. So after my current break from social media, I'm going to continue with it and continue to post positivity out there in the world with words, encouragement, videos, and songs. Yeah, you'll find me singing in some of them. Because I in some of my videos on that page, because I love
nice. Okay. And maybe if people come to the Empowering Minds Conference or a Magic Wand event, you might hear Maria performing. That's what I'm hearing right now. Maria.
I would love to perform at the talent show.
Awesome. Maria, thank you so much for your time and for the positive energy that you're putting out into the world. Until next time, take care, everyone.